Hey all, it's Dan, and it's time for another book review. This time I'm reviewing The Fourth Horror by Evie Knight. This is her debut novel. I know that she is known for her short stories. She's appeared in a number of collections for short stories. She's currently working on her second novel, but we're here to review her debut novel put out by Raw Dog Screaming Press. And because of the title of this book, I will never be able to monetize this video, so of course, as always, I will have to rely on you guys and links down below. I'm not going to go in, I'm not going to rehash the whole synopsis because I felt like I've read the synopsis a few times already. When I unboxed and did the book mail video for this, I read the synopsis. And I will include my first impressions video of this where I also read the synopsis. I will have that down below. But just to give you a gist, it is about Lilith. I kind of find the legend or mythology around Lilith to be interesting. While I'm not a religious person, I do find the character or the person of Lilith, who is supposed to be Adam's first wife, I find that whole concept of her interesting, and that was why I was so driven to want to read this. Now, this book, it's about an apocalypse where it's brought upon by Lilith and her four whores. Instead of the four horses of the apocalypse, it's the four whores. And if you haven't figured out by now, by the title and by what I just said, this is very much not safe for work. So if you are a religious person, I'm going to say this book is not for everyone. It does have very crude language and scenes going on in it. So, trigger warnings. It does talk about drug addiction with the main character, Kenzie Brooks. Her mother is a drug addict, and there's, discussions of prostitution and just different things like that. Very graphic scenes of murder, etc., etc. So, I would say go into this with that warning. If you really want to read this, like I said, I'm going to say it's not for everyone. It clocks in around 226 pages. It does have a rather small font that took me a little while to get used to. I thought it was going to take me much longer to read this than it actually did. It is considered a religious horror, and I do have to say, this is it's a good debut. Decent. While it did have some issues that, to be honest with you, I didn't really feel anything for the characters. I felt like the story should have been more developed, and I felt like it was just too short. It feels like the events of this apocalypse went by in a matter of days, is what it felt like for me, whereas something on that scale, that level, you would think would take months, and it felt like a few days passing in here. I really did not feel anything for any of the characters, whether it be the Angel of Death Serial, or Lilith herself, or the main character Kenzie Brooks. She really felt kind of flat to me, and even though she kind of has lived a tragic life based on what the author's description and introduction of her implies, I just didn't really feel anything for her character. And then it brings me to another point where the very start of this book introduces the character of Lilith, but it just felt so out of place that it didn't really feel like it meshed with the rest of the story. It just kind of didn't make sense for the whole overall story, and I felt like it was very, kind of out there and didn't really feel like it belonged with the story. It felt more like a short story, if that makes any sense. Don't get me wrong, I did enjoy this. I did think it's a good, decent debut. I did like it. I gave this a 3 out of 5 star rating on Goodreads. I'm willing to go and check out her second novel. I hope it's not religious fiction because, like I said, I'm not a religious person. And I don't think that that's why I thought this was a 3-star novel. I don't think that that's why I felt the way I did about the characters. I just feel like it should have had more meat to it, and it should have been a little bit little bit longer, more developed, if that makes any sense. I did like the fact that she incorporated like other historical figures like Tituba, and you know, she did have. I mean, and if you go and check out my reading vlog, there is a very revenge kind of fantasy feeling to this book. It's very feminist in nature. I get that what the author's trying to say when it's trying to be sexually empowering for women, but like it felt flat for me. It was good. I did enjoy it, and I did give it a 3 out of 5 star rating, but I felt like it could have been much better than what it was. Of course, as always, I will have a link to this down below for Amazon for those of you in the US. I'm not sure if this will be available on Book Depository, but I will go ahead and search Book Depository, and if it is available on Book Depository, I will include that link as well. Also, I will include a Ko-fi link if you guys could donate a few bucks to that, because like I said, I'm never going to be able to monetize this video just based on the title. And being that YouTube's family-friendly guidelines, they will never allow this video to be monetized, so it is what it is. If you came here looking for book reviews and book recommendations, please hit that subscriber button, and while you're there, hit that notification bell so you're well aware of when I upload again. That's all I got for you guys, and until next time, this has been Dan, and stay tuned for the next review coming up, hopefully soon. Later.